So you really want to get a really good keyboard. The options are endless, but you always hear these things about getting that nice, linear, quiet sound, some nice thockiness, and you have no idea what half of these things mean, but you really want to get into it. But unfortunately, you just don't know a lot of the terminology and you don't even know where to begin. But what if I told you that coolermaster has found a way to allow you to get into this enthusiast keyboard space while not spending a lot of money and with you not doing any work at all? That's where the CK720 kicks in. Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about with a very quick overview of this keyboard, which I believe could be your starter board to get into that world of enthusiast keyboards. All right, guys, and here we have it. This is the coolermaster CK720. Now, if this keyboard looks a little bit familiar, that is completely understandable because they actually have the CK721. And just to avoid confusion, the CK721 is the older keyboard, but it has wireless capabilities, while the newer CK720, which is down here in the bottom, does not have wireless capabilities, but is technically the newer and improved model. So let me get this old keyboard out of the way. Now, if you do want to hear about the CK721, I can do a separate video on that. I feel like I already have, and I will link it if I haven't done so already. I feel like it's been a few months since I've done that one, but this is the newer and improved model. And even though it looks exactly the same as the older model, everything internally has changed. And let me just start off here with the keys. These are now PBT keys as opposed to the older keyboard that came with ABS ones. And just the difference real quick between ABS and PBTs is just that the plastic and the materials are a little bit different on it. So you get more oiling on the ABS ones as opposed to the PBTs. And I love the textured finish on these PBT keycaps, which is my personal choice of keycaps, but that's ultimately up to you. So they do include PBT keycaps here from the get-go. So one of the big differences, or one of the new upgrades that they've done to this keyboard, is a couple things here. First of all, these keyboards come now pre-lubed switches. These are KO Box V2 switches that are pre-lubed from the factory. And let me see if I can zoom in here so you can get a nice good look at these switches. They are and feel so good to use. Let me try to remove the space bar as well, because one of the other things that they improved on it as well are the stabilizers. So these stabilizers are also new for coolermaster, and they're also pre-lubed out of the factory. So they always feel very smooth to press, and they actually feel and sound a little bit different than non-pre-lubed switches. If you haven't understood what it is, I will give a sound test later on, so you can kind of see the differences between the both keyboards, and just to feel what it is to sound pre-lubed versus non-lubed switches. But these are one of the upgrades that they have done to this keyboard. One of the other things as well is that these switches are hot swappable. So I'm gonna try it here. I don't think I've done it yet on this thing. Here it is. These are the switches, and these are hot swappable, meaning you can add whatever key switches that you want on this keyboard, which makes it a little bit more versatile than it was in the past. And if you do want to customize it later on, then you definitely can, and now you have the option to do so, which I think is a really huge bonus. It adds to that little level of customization for your keyboard. And now one of the other big things that they've added to this keyboard, and I'm not going to show you, is that there's silicone padding inside the keyboard. I think there's one right behind the PCB and one on the bottom of it. And what that does is help with the sound profile of the keyboard. So you won't get hollow clicks every time you're using the keyboard. It becomes a little bit more thocky. So the combination of the pre-lubed switches with the silicone padding that's in this keyboard just gives it a whole nother level of feel and sound to the profile of this keyboard. And I'm going to show you a sound test really quickly so you can get an idea of what it is that you're looking for when it comes to seeing the comparisons between a non-lubed, non-padded keyboard and a lubed and padded keyboard, which I have right here. So as you see, the differences are night and day. Honestly, it's definitely worth the price. And by the way, I don't think I've told you guys, this keyboard only costs $100. So what you're getting here is an enthusiast styled keyboard with all the features that you would get from a custom keyboard for the price of $100. And it's just pre-built out of the factory. You don't have to do anything to it if you wanted to make a sound like those custom keyboards. You're getting it all in one price, and there's nothing you have to do. This is basically a lazy man's custom keyboard, except that it's clearly not custom. It just comes out of the factory with those custom level features. So I think that for the price, you're getting an absolute heck of a keyboard. I love the 65% style layout. I just love how everything looks. They even tell you that the faceplates are interchangeable. Like, you can actually take off this faceplate, which I won't do it because it's kind of a lot of work, but you can change it to what colors you want. And I believe Cooler Master is going to offer different styles for it as well. Now, this isn't the most perfect keyboard. There are two gripes that I have with this keyboard. Number one, it is wired only. I don't know why they decided to leave it wired only. The previous iteration of this exact keyboard came with wireless functionality, and this one you lose it. I guess it's because of the hot swappable PCB and the padded foam. Maybe they couldn't have space for the entire wireless module to fit inside the keyboard, but I just feel like that is a huge step down. And the most important thing that I feel like is that it comes with this wired cable, and it's not even braided. There's nothing special about this cable. It just looks so basic, and it feels a little bit cheap in my opinion. So I feel like if you're going for an enthusiast styled keyboard that Cooler Master is trying to make, I feel like they could have at least included a better style and feel wire. I feel like, I don't know why they decided to cut back costs and just give you a non-braided wire. But at the end of the day, maybe those, my personal opinion, I do like braided cables. It just gives the overall keyboard experience a more premium feel. And I feel like because you're going for that premium keyboard, you should at least have the cable to match. But that's just my opinion. Overall though, the keyboard looks and performs and sounds and feels amazing. You will not go wrong with this. If you are too lazy to try to lube your own switches and add your foaming and finding whatever works and what doesn't, I think this is a great start for you to get into it, because you understand and you start to feel what it is to have these loop switches and the padded and have that little thockiness and that amazing sound profile you'll get from these keyboards. And you can customize it later on. You can get other switches if you want something a little bit better, faster linear ones or tactile ones, and you can loop them yourself. But at the end of the day, this is a great starter. It's a great foundation for you to get into that world of enthusiast level keyboards. So this is my quick take on this keyboard, and let's wrap this up real quick. All right, guys, and there you have it. That is my take on the Cooler Master CK720. I think that for the price of $100, you're getting all of the features that people would want from an enthusiast level keyboard. Obviously, not all of the features would be packed into something this compact, but at the end of the day, for what you're getting with the pre-loop switches, the padded foams, the amazing switches, and even just the basic keycaps that it comes with in this amazing 65% form factor, you can't go wrong. Out of my small little gripes that I have with the overall package as a whole, I still think that this is definitely a worth buy. So I want to thank Cooler Master so much for allowing me to check out this keyboard. I will have it linked down below if you guys want to check it out. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit like, and also do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.